Alright, today's a 5-minute deep dive into Headrush's Octaves Up pedal. Function of that pedal for me is to serve like the high end of a Pog, 2 octaves above the original note that you're playing. We've added it here into this rig. This is my orange AD30 with a 4x12 cabinet. That's a default edge breakup tone. So let's engage the pedal. I like to see what the mix button does. So with everything at 0. Now as we begin to take the mix up, the volume is decreasing. We get to 100 mix, that's 100 wet, the no dry signal coming through. So now that we understand that, let's add in octave 1. First thing I like to do is try to see where it becomes alive. So literally at 1%, there's a note. It's a little bit of sound, so we know we've got that right off the bat. Unusable, but that's the first octave. Now let's take that out. Let's put in the second octave. Same thing, test to see where it comes in. Right at 1%. Even worse, to me, more shrill, unusable in that case. Let's bring them both in at 100 wet, which I don't suggest anyone use it that way anyway. Not terrible when used for single notes, but way too shrill. Now let's start to back the mix from 100 to 80. A little less shrill, but not useful to me. Let's take it to 60. Now we got a little bit of dry signal in there that helps some. Let's take it to 50. On this pedal, as many Headrush pedals, 50 is equal signal of the dry and the wet signal. Very organy sounding, still too much for my personal taste. Part of it's the highness of the shrill octave 2. Let's take that down to 80. It's a little better. Let's take that down to 60 and see what we have. Not a terrible sound, but you can hear that kind of artifact, I call it artifact sound, the warble sound at the end on a chord. Let's take it to 50% for the second octave. It's more usable. Let's bring the first octave down to 80. For single notes, it's great. That's not too bad. Take it down to 60, see what we have. Works perfect for single notes as far as I'm concerned. Let's try this trick though. This is something I like to do. We're going to take the mix down but crank the effects back up. Take them back up to 80. Switch to the neck pickup. Just another idea of how it could possibly be used. Your mileage may vary depending on the guitar. This is a humbucker equipped Les Paul. I noticed that running this pedal with more distortion helps to smooth out some of those things that I'm calling artifact. It's a much crunchier, gained up version of the same orange amp. This is channel 2. Now let's bring in the octave. So again, driven signal that is pleasing, that we're looking for, to me, tends to smooth out some of the less pleasing part of the high octave up sound, especially on that more trebly end. So I definitely like the octaves up with more drive than less drive. That's my personal taste. This has been a 5-minute deep dive into the octaves up pedal.